friends, hello neighbors. Welcome to the Music Review Board of Portland. This is the Spotlight Series. I'm Jon Hitchcock, speaking to you from Studio 3 in beautiful downtown Portland, Oregon. Tonight, we want to welcome from Seattle, Limberlost.
It might mean I disagree with everything I see. Tell myself, but you just won't listen. You're gonna see what you want, say what you want, say what you will, say what you will. See what you want, see what you want, say what you will, say what you will. Yeah.
Hey, welcome in, guys. This is Limberlost from Seattle, Washington. I love Seattle. Used to live in Lakewood, you know where that is, just south of Tacoma?
Yeah, that's actually closer to where we are than Seattle, so.
I used to live there when I was a young guy and moved down here and been here ever since. Anyway, nice to see you guys. Could you introduce yourself and tell me a little bit about you? If you're from Seattle originally, what got you turned on to music in the first place? Let's start with Brittany.
You're a transplant.
I'm a transplant, yes. We have some people here, I think, a little bit more native. I moved here only a couple years ago, and that's when I met Limberlost. And Limberlost had been rocking and rolling for a couple years, actually, before I joined. And it was just such an honor to join this band. So yeah, that's kind of a little bit about me.
Nice, nice. Crystal, what about you?
Me, I've got webbed feet. I've been here since I was just a wee little thing. So grew up in the Puget Sound area over on the other side of the bridge. I've been in the Tacoma area for the last 20 years or so.
Ben.
Yo,
there you are.
Hey, I just came out here about 9 years ago too. Spent nearly all my life in Texas.
Oh, in Texas, okay.
Yeah, mostly like El Paso, Midland, Odessa. I spent some time out in the east, close to Dallas and everything. But moved out here in 2011.
And then we forgave him.
Yeah, I've been begging forgiveness every time. Yeah, man.
Good deal, Mike.
Well, I'm originally from up in this neck of the woods, born and raised up in the Tacoma area, and transplanted to California for a number of years, and then moved back here, and moved back to California, and just before this band started, I moved back. So the band actually started, probably the first iterations of it probably started about 3 or 4 months after I came back this last time. So
good deal. I bet you're glad you did, huh?
Oh, absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Excited about this project. It's been a blessing.
You got a new album coming out. You got a new single. You got a tour coming out. So tell us about the album. Tell us about the single and the tour.
So this is our collected works over the last year since we put out our last album. Mm-hmm. So we're always moving and always shaking and always writing. So once we get a song, we record it and put it together. And the single that we've just released is actually the last song that we recorded for the album. We put the finishing touches on it in quarantine. We got some equipment over to my house, and I pushed some clothes out of the way in my closet, and we set it all up and had recorded the vocals at my house just to get everything finished and ready to go. So we're really excited that it all came together.
It's a diverse grouping of songs.
Yeah.
This was it.
Awesome.
It was one of those like she said, if we're writing a song, whatever it is that we're writing at the time is kind of what we're feeling at the time, right? So everything is a little bit different. We got a couple of Brittany's super inspiring kind of stuff that we got to play around with, and then just out of nowhere, the new song, The Real Thing, was just kind of this, it was 3 weeks old before we started recording it. It was little bitty.
Yeah.
Sitting on some stuff that we've actually had recorded now for a year and a half.
Yeah,
that we're waiting to unleash on this.
Yeah.
It's going to be good once the whole thing is together. And like I said, super diverse, nice, and just there's a little something in there for everybody.
Good.
Yeah, we have a lot of different influences in the band. I mean, we kind of span some different age groups and generations and where we come from. And I think that really does something for our sound, because we don't have one genre that we're shooting for. We're making the music that means something to us and that we love and that, moves us and shakes us. So I think that's what makes us who we are.
I had a bunch of questions here I was going to ask you. Did the band start in Seattle?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we're actually a little south of Seattle, so we're kind of down the Puyallup area is where we started. Yeah, that's where we started. Actually, myself and Ricky got together through a Craigslist encounter. I'll let you take that wherever you want to take it.
Yeah.
But we started we kind of started playing back then. We went through a bunch of different tribulations in terms of putting a band together. We had several people we kind of collaborated with over time, and then eventually, but all during that time we were still writing and we were still trying to formulate what the sound was going to be. And then we ended up at a church where Crystal was singing, and that's how we kind of solidified the band at that point. We were all in a worship team together. We decided that this would be a good fit. We had a bass player that played at the church at the time, Daniel, and so we wrote probably 3 or 4 more songs. We had Thin Clouds kind of coming in, and then we wrote a few more songs with Crystal and Daniel, and then the band broke up.
Yeah.
And
almost. It was like it was hanging by a thread.
Yeah, it was pretty much done, and to the point where Ricky and I were like, we at least want to record this one song we wrote called Thin Clouds. And so we went back, we came up here to Dave's studio, the studio we're at today. We've actually recorded, and all of our music has been produced here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we came up and talked to Dave, and Dave pretty much told us we were idiots if we didn't have Crystal sing the song. So we went back and talked to Crystal and Daniel, and we came up and we recorded Thin Clouds, and that kind of set everything in motion. From then, it's just been kind of a non-stop whirlwind ever since that recording.
That's what you want, though. That's great. So I was going to ask you, too, who's the main songwriter in the group?
It's kind of a little bit of everybody. So there have been songs that have been like Real Thing is something I sat down and I wrote, and I put an idea track out, gave it to the band, and we, kind of did the instrumentation from there. There have been other songs where somebody's jamming in the room, and I kind of start bopping my head, and we write something out and work it out in the room. Brittany has brought a couple of songs that she has actually, had written a long time before she ever joined the band, and we've been able to kind of work through those. Mike's written a couple of songs. So again, I think that's part of our diversity, is we don't have one songwriting pattern or one place of genesis for the songs. They all kind of come from different angles and different people.
Well, it's really come together well. I'm a fan, I'll tell you that.
Thanks,
I
man.
can't wait to get to Portland. When are you going to come to Portland again?
Well, we had a show.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
There's a band down there that we're really good friends with called the Shrike. And it was one of the first contacts I made, I think, when the band started. We really started to go out and start wanting to get out and play more. I was looking around in different cities to find bands that we would, be able to maybe do some show trading with and stuff like that. Looking for people that were you could kind of tell had the same goals and approach to the scene that we did. And I found the Shrike down there. I don't know if you're familiar with them. Great band. And it took about another year and a half for us to actually put a show together, because we just kept not making dates, weren't working out and so forth. But so we've played a few shows with them here as of, in fact, our last shows we did a little mini tour of Idaho with them and another band from Portland called Sarah Wild and the Watch. And we did a little mini tour with them. So anyway, we
were supposed to be down to play for the Shrike's album release in June.
Yeah, June 12th. June 12th was their album release. And yeah, now that's not happening, but it's been postponed, so we will be down there. I just don't know when yet.
Yep. As soon as we know, you guys will know.
Yep.
Okay, so you guys got a real good fan base. It follows you from show to show. How much do you feed off the audience, and how much interaction do you have?
Oh gosh, 100%.
Yeah.
All
100%.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
all of that.
Yeah. We put a lot of thought and effort into our set, that what we bring is going to be something that is enjoyable for everybody, whether you've seen us before or not. So we do play a couple of cover songs just to kind of it's the icebreaker type stuff, things that people can sing along with, like Jolene. And
That's the Dolly Parton song you do. Okay, I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah,
That's
so
cool.
that's always our goal, is to make it worth your while to come out and see us, and to make new friends when we're there. We always want to hang out and say hi, but the crowd is number one. We're there for them.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Yep, that's the way to do it. So, Crystal.
Yeah.
So, what do you think you'd be doing if you weren't fronting Limberlost?
If I wasn't fronting Limberlost, shut up. They make fun of me because I have a very strange set of hobbies and interests. I've done some like medieval recreation work. I'm a fiber artist, so if you go to my Instagram, it's kind of full of like yarn and sheep right now. And I homeschool my kids, and I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I'd probably be, doing those things, but I'd be making music somewhere, I'm just glad that this is where I get to do it right now.
Yeah, you really can't. Once you get bit by that bug, you cannot get away from it. It's just not going to happen. I really like the video, See What You Want.
Oh, that's great.
And I recognize some of the buildings from Seattle. That was cool.
We shot that down in Tacoma.
Downtown Tacoma.
Yeah.
Oh, that was in
and
Tacoma.
then running around the
okay.
street in high heels, like just chugging around town with video cameras chasing me. It was a good time.
Painful.
It was good. I mean, do you have any more offstage videos planned?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes, we do. Actually, the gentleman that's filming us right now, Dave Jimenez, we've got some projects that we've kind of been working on and we have in the can that we haven't been able to finish for a myriad of different reasons. But we also have a project hopefully coming up soon that it's a huge teaser, so I can't say much about it. But it will be huge.
Things are coming.
Yes, we work with a producer out of LA for a couple of songs, and he's fairly well known. And he came and just did another song with us. We did this. Going back to the album. The album is called Good Fight. That's coming out, and it's based off the title track is a song we did. We were actually in the process of recording, and the producer asked me to send it to him. His name's Timothy, and just an amazing person. Just
cool dude.
He's become one of my best friends. He's just a great guy. I can't say enough good things about him.
Wacky as all get out, and I love it.
That helps.
But he heard the beginnings of this song "Good Fight" that we were doing, which was a ballad. It was our first ballad, basically, and we were really kind of going down the road of Queen of the or what's the one, Silent Lucidity kind of feel from Queen's Reich. But he heard something different, and he asked if he could produce it. So we had him fly up and do that, and then he kind of formulated a little bit more of a plan to actually work and help the band move onto the world stage a little more.
Launch,
and so
get some traction.
So we came up with a different song that we also have produced with him, and that's done. But the video idea and the stuff we're going to put behind that, in terms of a little bigger picture than just music, is pretty amazing. If and when we can pull this off.
Yeah.
The song we just released is probably most likely going to be the last single that anybody will hear before we actually launch the album.
Yeah.
But we have 4 songs total, I think, that you haven't heard.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody's looking forward to it. I know I am.
Thanks,
It's going to
man.
be great. It's going to be a lot of fun. A couple more questions, and maybe you can do a song for us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What would be your dream tour?
Australia, New Zealand would be
or
really
like
cool.
up into the Ireland and England.
Yeah.
See, that's
stuff.
mine. Is the
Spain.
Scotland and
Spain.
London and Ireland. Oh yeah.
All of the places, man.
Somewhere that's not Seattle.
Yeah, a little drier maybe.
We have a very good friend that just released an album called Extraordinary World, Sammy Shafi, and I'm telling you, watching the stuff that he's went through, because he filmed all his videos and all the countries where he wrote the different songs, and I'm like going, oh, India is so cool, oh, Thailand is so
wanna go
cool,
there.
oh, this is, and I'm just like, oh man, it really is an extraordinary world, and
It is.
I don't know that there wouldn't be, the dream tour would just be the tour right now.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
true.
You guys talked about diversity, and there you go. I mean, if you get around to these spots in the world, I mean, the inspiration is there.
Yeah, and our fan base is kind of all over the place too. We've got a group, we've got some radio play in Australia and South Africa and really interesting places. So I would love to go to those places and, meet those people and do some shows where we've got, people listening to our music already.
Oh, that's fabulous, guys. Anytime a group from the Pacific Northwest, hey, I love it. So a question my producer wanted to ask was, if I went to your phone, who would I be listening to?
Oh, gosh, a little bit of everything,
Weird Al.
right? Weird Al.
Yeah, dude.
Limberlost.
Who's a genius.
Weird Al covers the whole
That's actually
spectrum.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been listening to some Wolfpack lately.
Snarky
there's
Puppy.
Snarky Puppy.
Yes.
Yeah. Big into jam bands. What else? What have you been listening to lately?
Gosh, I've been kind of on an 80s binge again.
Yeah.
You have been
Same,
since the
actually.
80s.
Well, I have been since the 80s. I've been on an 80s binge. But yeah, no, I've been, I watched The Dirt the other night, so I've been kind of listening to some Crew the last few days.
Nice. There's a French girl named Zaz, Z-A-Z, who I really enjoy. I've been listening to her.
Bella Fleck. Huge Bella Fleck fan. Love
Oh, okay.
those. It is. It's really all over the place.
Yeah.
It's-
It's a little
yeah.
all over the place.
Zeppelin
like
is always in rotation. There's Queen and Journey and all the blah blah. Yeah,
Oh, sure.
that kind of stuff.
Oh,
Which
yeah,
is,
yeah.
you know, it deserves
Love the
a listen.
classic rock, yeah.
Yeah.
So what is one of you guys' musical guilty pleasures?
Guilty pleasures.
Guilty pleasures that you enjoy but you don't want to admit to. Is there anything out there?
There's a Celtic band called Lunasa that I absolutely love. They come around every once in a while. I've seen them a couple times at the Triple Door in Seattle, and they're just killer musicians. And it's happy music, like it's nothing but happy Celtic tin whistle based music. So it's like, you know, anti-depression music for me.
So when I really need a pick me up and nobody's around, I love to kick on some James Brown.
Hey.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But that's not a guilty
Godfather,
pleasure.
right?
It's a guilty pleasure for me because I
everybody
actually
loves
dance
that
with
stuff.
it.
Nobody needs to see that
There
though.
might not, and shirts might not be involved. I don't know.
That's good. Hey, I got to tell you, I'm a lot older than you guys, and in the 70s, ABBA was not cool. It was just not cool, but now I can pop that in anytime. It's just so refreshing,
Yeah.
And it took 35, 40 years for me to get to that threshold, but there are some bands now that, I would never have admitted that I like, but I'll tell you what, ABBA, those harmonies.
Oh, it's good stuff. Absolutely.
So, hey guys, what song are you going to do for us tonight?
Well, one of the songs that we're doing is Refiner, so I guess
Yeah.
we can start with that one, right? And Refiner was written
Off of our first album.
off of the first album. It was written by Crystal. And it's kind of cool because I don't think we've done an acoustic version, so this is
Yeah.
a very live performance of this one.
Yeah.
And then the other one is kind of funny because I it's one of mine and I wrote it in just very quickly and I sent it to the band like,
Yeah.
hey, I really like this piece, what do you guys think? And at that point I thought it was unfinished, but the more that we sat with it, the more we're like, well, this is kind of what it is for
It's
right
a
now.
moment. It's a moment on the
Yeah.
album.
Just let it breathe for a
Yeah.
second. So this one is just piano and you're going to hear it as it was written and as it is on the album.
Excellent. Well, I'll take it away.
My heart can't be broken and it suits me just fine. I laid out the pieces when it shattered the last time. And in those remains I saw the design. Now my heart can't be broken and it suits me just fine. And in those remains, I've been down again. In those remains, I've been down again. My darling, we're not the normal kinds. If
suits me just fine. Yeah.
See them creeping on fantasy, far from reality. Fantasy. Them a boast, them a choke. Fantasy. We will be there. Fantasy. I like the way you move and the way you laugh, the little things you do and the way you shake your ass. I've been on the phone with my mom all night long. The electric went out and she couldn't stay calm. I would never miss a day if your skin grew soft and your hair turned gray.
Hello friends, hello neighbors, this is Jon Hitchcock from the Music Review Board of Portland here at the St. John's Bridge just outside beautiful downtown Portland, Oregon, inviting you to check out our new Spotlight series on Facebook. Look for us at the Music Review Board of Portland. And if you're a songwriter and would like to be a participant in the Spotlight series, just message us at Facebook Messenger. Thank you.
For a while I'm crippled, for a while I am weak, for a while I can't figure out what you are doing to me. For a while I'm defensive, for a while I retreat, and know that this is what I need. I'm in the fire, and it burns, but it moves me, it hastens my return. I'm in the fire, I am relieved. It burns away the mess I make, so I come to the refiner. So take your time now. My permanent response to the flame that carries on. Maybe our comfort is overrated. If we're complacent, we're jaded. But in the end, you know that this is what we need. I'm in the fire, and it burns, but it moves me, it hastens my return. In the fire, I am relieved. It burns away the mess I make, so I come to the refiner. You burn me up and bring me down like tower pressures all around. If this is what it's gonna take to make me know, take every break that I have made in my own name and demonstrate power of the flame. I'm in the fire, and it burns, but it moves me, it moves me, it moves me. I'm in the fire, and it burns, but it moves me, it hastens my return. 'Cause in the fire, I am relieved. It burns away the mess I make, so I come to the refiner. Oh,
Wow, guys, great song. Thank you so much for doing that. I mean, we're blown away here.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
It's a good thing. It's
They're awesome.
We're excited to share.
That's a unique deal because you are the only ones that get to hear that.
Yeah.
That's true.
Until the album comes out.
Yep.
It's an exclusive, right? It's an exclusive. Okay, guys, tell me about your team.
I mean, from Dave over here in Jimenez, you know, Dave. There's lots of Daves.
A lot of Daves
Dave's
around.
you know, our engineer at Crash Bang Boom. We got well, Paul Crosby and Timothy Eaton. All these guys. Mike is the guy that knows. You know, everybody can name drop better than I can. but yeah, outside of the band, there's easily double the amount of people that we got on our side. And we just get to be the face. Everybody else works their tails off for this kind of stuff. So
Yep.
Dave Smith, you know, here at Crash Bang Boom, he's been probably with us the longest since the
Been
beginning.
putting up with us.
Yes, he puts
For a
up with
long
us. we will be the death of him probably.
Yes.
But you know, engineer, producing, all around, just mentoring, always looking out for us. It's you know, going out of his way, like for things like this, to make sure that we're accommodated to give the best we can, present ourselves the best way we can. Dave Jimenez from Jimenez Productions doing the video work. You know, I know that we don't have time, but just the backstories that go into all these, how these relationships develop. They are relationships that happened at the right time and were meant to happen.
Yeah.
And Timothy Eaton, you know, he kind of came out of nowhere. Him and I developed a relationship on Facebook, basically, just discussing things, and he quickly became a friend and a mentor. And then musically and professionally, that happened just kind of. You know, it was just an inspiration thing for him. And since then, it's just really snowballed into something amazing. Paul Crosby, you know, I hung up on him the first time he called me. You know, it was
It's like Paul Crosby, right?
yeah.
Sure.
It
Click.
was that scene from Rockstar, you know, where it's like, yeah, your guitar playing is as bad as your English accent. You know, this guy from the band Saliva. I mean, come on, man, they're metal. They're like, why would they be calling this female-fronted, you know, rock band from Seattle and saying, hey, I want to manage you? You know, I mean, it just didn't make any sense. But you know, those things just don't. But you know, he's turned out to be just this great relationship for me, and a guy I can really lean into because he's the guy on the other side of the fence I want to be over. You know, and he can tell me how to get there and what mistakes not to make and stuff. So, you know, and we've got several fans. You know, Crystal's sister and brother-in-law, you know, have worked with us and done a lot of stuff merchandise-wise and stuff like that. I mean,
promotions. Yep.
You know, I mean, there's so many people to thank.
Family.
You know, but it's our team, and we look at it that way, and we want this whole team to succeed, not just us. So.
Hey, it's working. It's working. I want to ask about your tour. I know, you know, the world's locked down right now, but as we slowly open up and everything becomes good again, you know, when is that going to happen? And do you have any firm dates?
Well, we have a few dates on the calendar. How we're going to link them all together seems to constantly be ever changing.
Yeah.
You know, our biggest thing was going to be we were going to Atlanta to play at the ISO Awards show in August. And that just got actually canceled in a sense. They're still doing the show, but it's going to be a video
Like online
kind of deal. So they've canceled all the live performances. They've given us all free pass to play there next year. And so we all have the opportunity to do that if we want to go back next year and play at the 2021 show. But that was kind of the kickoff for the thing. So now that that's not happening, it's kind of changing the direction that we go. We've got a date in Denver. We've got another one in Boise. And we've got some other stuff coming up that, you know, I just don't have any firm lockdowns on. But basically, something will be happening in August.
First 2 weeks of August.
First 2 weeks of August, we'll be doing something. But we don't know if it's going to be a little more compartmentalized, maybe to, you know, right around the Rockies this way. We probably won't be going any farther east than Denver, I would say.
2020. What can you say?
Murder Hornets
It's supposed to be better than this.
Wow, yeah, here they are. Look how it's just one thing after another.
Semper Gumby. You got to do what you got to do, man, when this stuff comes your way, right?
We just don't, you know, we won't cancel anything. We as a band decided early on we weren't going to like overreact to this stuff.
Right.
We're just going to ride it out. And our goal is to come out of this thing when the doors open that we're actually riding the wave, not paddling for it. So that's what we've been working behind the scenes. You're actually the first live thing we've done. We didn't jump into that whole thing with everybody else and start doing a bunch of online shows and stuff like that because, well, first of all, we had work to do, and regardless of that. And then second of all, we just kind of said, let's not do that. Let's save that and have our stuff ready to roll when the doors open because it's hope of a normal. And that's what we wanted to focus on was that.
Well, I got this question I got to ask you guys, and I'll just throw it out there. If you could collaborate with any musician, dead or alive, who would it be?
Ooh.
And Wilson.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking we'd have to go the hard route. I mean, we're so inspired by them.
It's kind of I was raised on the Sisters Wilson, so yeah.
Yeah, I just would love to hang out with them. Dave Grohl.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yes.
Fred Flintstone with you?
Weird Al.
Weird Al.
Weird Al or Thor, right?
Yeah, there you go.
right.
I'm a huge Aerosmith fan. I mean, like all their B-sides, just everything, and not even just like the Steven Tyler. I love all those guys. So doing something with those guys. I mean, if we're talking fantasy, that's
You'll call them
right
for
there.
us and hook us up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got him on speed dial. Oh, yeah. So what's the favorite show you ever played?
Oh, Pig Out.
Pig Out in the Park.
Oh, yes. Pig out.
Last year we got to run out to Spokane and play their event that's called Pig Out in the Park. It's a huge event. How many stages did they have up?
Oh,
5 stages going pretty much all day long. And food trucks for miles and, just fields you can crash and sit and hang out and listen to music and wander around. It was a really, really cool event. And we're hoping that everything comes together for it to happen again this year.
Yeah.
That's cool. Now, is that all age, all families?
Yeah, and they bring in some big acts. We actually got to open for Black Oak, Arkansas, which was pretty awesome.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember them. Yeah.
Well, and there's something to be said for all of the other little shows. There's this little town here at Ording that does this little rock festival that they bring in a whole bunch of stuff. Those are always fun. The first year that we did this little Ording Rock Fest, and we're talking about maybe 60 people that are in the crowd. It's a little bitty thing, but they do a good job. We set the PA on fire.
Literally.
So
there was smoke and flames shooting from the speakers.
That happens. That happens, right?
It's metal. It's metal.
So little things like that. I mean, big crowds are great, but then you get some good stories from all the other ones.
Yeah.
Just any time to play live is good.
We got to, we got a promo video up that Dave shot that's about 15 minutes. We have a show we did over at Cheney Stadium up here. We opened up for Drowning Pool. It was a rock and rally for the troops. That was a fun show.
Big stage, good sound system, a lot of fun. Motorcycle rally, it was cool.
National act coming through. So we've had some. I could probably say something about any of them. Even NatFest probably.
Oh God!
What was that now?
We've got road stories. We've been doing this long enough to have road stories.
That's why we're here, folks. Let's hear some road stories.
The one that we call NatFest, it was booked and billed to us as this community event of live music stages and a lot going on, and we roll into town and it's not really what we expected, and some of the stage they had set up for us, it was a little stage, it was outdoors, which was fine. We're all like, cool, that's great, we'll play the show, no problem. And then we go by the time we get on stage and start playing, the sun has come down, and literally there's a light bar in front of me, and it's nothing but this curtain of gnats and flies, everywhere, and crawling all over the set lists, and it's just within a minute or two of starting the set, I'm like, I'm just gonna have to eat the bugs to get through the set. You gotta do what you gotta do, man.
It was dinner and a movie that night,
gosh.
man. Or dinner show because we got to eat bugs as we were playing. So yeah.
Well, I think we're going to have to wrap it up, guys. I mean, unless there's anything.
No,
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
this is fun.
This was a great time. We really appreciate it.
And any kind of excuse that we have
so glad you enjoyed
now that we can actually kind of get back together,
Right.
and
Yes.
Actually get hugging each
In
other
the same
and stuff.
room.
Yes.
Look at this. Look at this social distancing.
That's out the window.
Fail.
6 feet.
All right, Mike, Brittany, Crystal, and Ben, thank you so much for doing this. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anytime.
You bet.
Thanks for having
All
us,
right.
man.
Hey, we'll see you as soon as you get to Portland, okay? And I get an autographed picture, right?
100%.
Absolutely.
Anything you want, man.
Anything you want, brother.
Perfect. Thank you, guys. That was Limberlost, folks. I tell you what, first impressions of people, you're usually going to be right, and I can tell they got what it takes. It's a glue that puts a band together with personalities, and when that works, it's going to work. And Limberlost, I'm telling you what, they've got a good future ahead of them. Well, on that note, I want to thank you very much for watching today and joining us here at the Music Review Board of Portland Spotlight Series. Next time we'll have another talented person or persons to talk to. So until then, I'm Jon Hitchcock, Studio 3, beautiful downtown Portland, Oregon. Thank you for joining us. Good night.
Free.